I see Sarah's asking, I'm on the wait list for a Vipassana meditation retreat. I'm a little weary with what a 10-day practice may do to Shakti. I don't want to upset her or lose my mind through the process. During my meditation practice, I have been experiencing vertigo-like symptoms where it feels as though she is stirring. What do you suggest based on your own Vipassana practice experience? Okay, great question here. So yes, I just completed a 10-day Vipassana meditation retreat over the holidays. And it was my second one. The first one I did was about over 10 years ago. So I have some experience with this. And in fact, I had a lot of interesting Kundalini phenomena on the retreat. So I can speak to this question. I think it's nice and fresh for me. So overall, just generally speaking here, Vipassana is a meditation technique. It's a Buddhist meditation technique. It doesn't speak about Kundalini, chakras, anything like that. It's very much very simple. You focus on the sensations on your body, you focus on the inhale and the exhale, um, and you sit with what's coming up. Overall, and I think this applies to everybody here, I like to say that everything we experience is sanctioned by Shakti, sanctioned by the divine. So if you end up at a Vipassana meditation retreat, she knows exactly where she is putting you. And so I don't think that it's like going to upset her per se. For me, it was incredibly rewarding and far from upsetting her. I truly don't think that we can upset her per se. I think maybe we can um, ignore some of her guidance and we get a little bit of consequences, which are, not punishments. They're just helping us to see where the path is. But I don't think that by sitting and with the intention of developing spiritually, which is what Shakti, the goddess, the Kundalini wants, I don't think that she'll say, "Oh, what are you doing? This is wrong." So I think that you can trust that if you're there and you're sitting and practicing, that's what you should be doing. And you can take what I'm saying there and apply it to other dimensions of your life. It's all sanctioned by her, a relationship, a job, etc. This is the way I like to see it. I talk to her. I say, look, if you want me to meditate, well, hopefully you take care of me because I'm here now. Or if you don't want me to be at a meditation retreat, well, then don't accept me. Don't shift me from the waitlist status to accepted status. That's the way I like to see it. I think she really has a lot. I mean, all the influence in managing the unfolding of our lives. Um, Vipassana, I think it's very compatible with this process. Even though the teachers and the instructions don't speak about it, if you sit with the general idea of whatever's coming up shouldn't be clung to if it's amazing, bliss, crazy mystical phenomena, all sorts of psychic abilities, you don't cling to it, you just observe it. If you don't push away pain that's coming up, emotions that are coming up, thoughts that are coming up, that's Vipassana. Vipassana means observing reality as it is. So whatever's coming up, you observe it as it is. I think these types of retreats are very effective for those going through this process. However, there are some downsides, which are, of course, 10 days of meditation is very intense, very, very intense, and can be very energetically destabilizing. So I invite you to familiarize yourself with what helps you and your system to stay grounded and be somewhat balanced, which means for the most part, exercise, movement. So you can walk on those retreats. I think every site, every location around the world has like some grounds to walk. So walk, hug trees. They don't give you a lot of food per se, but still eat. Don't miss meals. Eat. Perhaps consider avoiding the coffee, avoiding the tea. They make that available, but that can cause a lot of things to get amped up. And simply follow the instructions as best as you can. In my meditations, I would follow the instructions and then the Kundalini would start doing other stuff and I would go with that. But sometimes people will just use their ego mind and say, I'm going to do a, third eye meditation instead of following the instructions. And they just, can really go deep and go far off the deep end. Keep that in mind. Also acknowledge that on a retreat like that, you probably will get energetically destabilized. But fortunately, you're in a place where you're somewhat safe. You don't have to talk to anybody. So you don't have to, you're not going to say anything crazy because you're not allowed to talk. Nobody's going to ask you to show up to work. You just go sit, meditate, eat, walk, go back to your room. So crazy stuff can be happening inside of you, but if you keep it to yourself and you just stay within the the retreat center, I think it's a good chance that you can go through some pretty significant transformations. I did, but Yeah, it's an intense experience, but if you find yourself there, trust that this is what's part of your path and you'll be okay. You'll be okay.